Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lovely Saturday afternoon for some volleyball. Today's matchup against Mid-America Nazarene and Baker University.
Taylor Kyle, a 5'10 sophomore, right side from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Number 3, Savannah Knott. A 5'10 junior outside hitter from Overbrook, Kansas. Number 14, Kelsey Simmons. A 6'1 junior, middle blocker from Leawood, Kansas. Number 17, Claire Chapman. A 5'8 junior, libero from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Number 18, Jordan Hasbro. A 5'9 senior setter from Branson, Missouri, number 23, Skylar Brock. And a 5'10 senior outside hitter from Cabot, Arkansas, number 30, Taylor Bell. The Wildcats are coached by Matt Wendell in his 5th season. He's assisted by Henry Clater and Emily Dalton. Now let's meet the starters for the Pioneers. A 5'1 senior, libero from Rockford, Illinois, number 1, Savannah Matthews. A 5'7 junior setter from Marion, Kansas, number 7, Courtney Hansen. A 5'11 senior outside hitter from Madras, Oregon, number 11, Jennifer Raw. A 5'10 senior middle blocker from Kansas City, Missouri, number 12, Jackie Calvert. A 6'1 junior outside hitter from Belgrade, Serbia, number 14, Nicoletta Candish. A 5'11 senior middle blocker from McPherson, Kansas, number 21, Rachel Dawson. And a 5'10 senior middle blocker from Razlog, Bulgaria, number 30, Tanya Vankova. The Pioneers are coached by Molly Caragiora in her 2nd season. She's assisted by Eugenia Aguilar and Adam Brewster, and their manager is Lexi Davis. It's time for volleyball.
And welcome fans once again to the campus of Mid-America Nazarene here in Kansas. We've got a Heart of America matchup today between Baker University and the Mid-America Nazarene Pioneers. Right now the Pioneers stand with a record of 6-4 and the Baker Wildcats at 1-5.
Please follow social distancing practices while entering, exiting, and while viewing today's contest.
Today's matchup will be a best 3 sets out of 5. The first team to win 3 sets will take the match. On your right, you will see the Pioneers in their blue uniforms, and on your left, in the orange, you will see the Baker Wildcats. The Wildcats have first serve with Skylar, number 23, back at the line. And number 14 will start off the match for the Pioneers with a kill off the block. Back to the line serving is number 3, Bonkova. The Wildcats will receive and return the ball. And they will get the point. We've got a sub for the Pioneers. Number 30 is coming out, and number 16, McKenna Webster, enters the match. Number 21 is also entering the match for the Wildcats, Sophie Heldenbrand, who will have the serve for Baker. The Wildcats will attack out of the middle, and they get the ball right back. Back to the service line, number 12, Jacqueline Calvert with the serve. And a quick kill out of the middle for Baker's return. And a nice block for the Pioneers. And the Pioneers will maintain possession with that point as the ball landed out of bounds off the block of the Baker Wildcats. Back to serve again, number 12, Jacqueline Calvert. And the Wildcats will try to return this ball, and they will get it back over and in play. A tip by the Pioneers. And Baker unable to return that ball, giving the Pioneers an advantage of 3 points with a score of 4-1. And a big kill for number 30, Taylor Bell, on Baker's side. Will bring their score up to 2. Number 17 for Baker back to the line, Sarah Jost. Pioneers over to the right side, and the Wildcats will return. Pioneers go back to the right side and get a kill on the second time through. Number 14 with that kill, Candice. And 14 will come out, and number 2, Gracie Myers will enter, and number 4, Teresa Saunders also enters the match. Myers back to serve for the Pioneers. And the Wildcats come back with a tip from the right side. Big swing from number 11 on the Pioneers, but not quite over the net. That will bring the Wildcats within 2 points with a score of 5-3. And number 4, Megan Milroy, will serve for the Wildcats. And we have a service error. Another sub for the Wildcats, and Tanya Bonkova will re-enter the match. Number 11, Jennifer Roth for the Pioneers to serve. The Wildcats will return with a right side attack. And a kill from the outside from Simmons. Number 2 enters the match for Baker, Taylor Keel, and number 14 is back to serve. And number 4, Teresa Saunders, finds her way through that tough Baker block to put the Pioneers ahead, maintain the Pioneers lead at 7-4. Libero Savannah Matthews will have the serve for the Pioneers. And they will maintain that serve with a big block. Matthews returns to the service line. And a service error for Matthews. The ball will go back to the Wildcats. Jordan Hasbrook with the serve for the Wildcats. And the Pioneers return with the right side attack. And a free ball over the net for the Pioneers to get a quick transition kill out of the middle from number 12, Jacqueline Calvert. Courtney Hansen and Nicoletta Candish will return to the match. Hansen will step back to the service line for the serve. And a big swing on the outside for Baker, with Taylor Kyle getting that kill. Skylar Brock will enter the match and serve for Baker. And she will get the ace.
Brock with the ace. Point, Baker.
And Matthews returns that ball to keep the Wildcats from getting that ace, and the Wildcats are unable to return that. Pioneers regaining possession and remain in the lead with a score of 10-7. Blankova with that serve and an error, returning the serve to the Wildcats. Sophie Heldenbrand will step back to the service line for the serve. And a nice pass by Matthews for an outside attack. And a excellent anticipation by number 12, Jacqueline Calvert, to anticipate that ball coming over and get that ball back for the Pioneers. Jacqueline Calvert with that serve, and the Wildcats will return. Nice hustle from the Pioneers to get that ball back over. And the point goes to Baker after getting a touch off the block and the ball landing out of bounds. Number 17, Claire Chapman, will step back to the service line for Baker and will receive a service error, returning the ball to the Pioneers. Gracie Myers back into the game to serve for the Pioneers. And a quick run out of the middle will get Baker the ball back after a kill from
Milroy serving.
Number 4, Milroy, back to the service line for Baker. And number 21 on the outside, Rachel Dawson with the kill. Jennifer Roth back to serve for the Pioneers. Pioneers remain in the lead with a score of 13-10. And Roth will receive an ace for that. And a kill from number 3, Savannah Knott. Pioneers defense unable to get a hold of that on the back end. Number 14, Kelsey Simmons, back to serve for the Wildcats. And the Wildcats will take that point as the ball snuck in behind the net and down in front of the blockers. And the right side, number 4, Teresa Saunders with the kill down the line.
Matthews serving.
Baker with the substitution, number 1, Sailor Zurcher, in for the Wildcats. Matthews back to serve for MNU. And a tight ball at the net, and the attacker going up to get that ball before anyone else can touch it. Matthews back to serve again for the Pioneers. And an ace. And 14 back into the match, Kelsey Simmons for the Wildcats. Matthews back at the service line again. And the Wildcats were called in the net. Point back to the Pioneers as the Pioneers lead 18-12. Timeout by the Wildcats, and we will take a quick break for this timeout. And the teams return to the court again after the timeout, with Matthews back at the service line for the Pioneers once again. Pioneers in the lead with a score of 18-12. Attack from the outside, or right side, number 4, Teresa Saunders, and that ball finds its way into the corner of the court for a point for the Pioneers. Matthews back to serve once again. Another big swing from Saunders, getting another kill. And a big swing from the Wildcats. Taylor Kyle with that kill, and number 18, Jordan Hashbrook, will step back to the service line for Baker. And the Wildcats will take that point with the balling out of bounds from an outside hit for the Pioneers. Number 18, Jordan Hashbrook, back to serve for the Wildcats again. And a service error for the Wildcats. Courtney Hansen will step back to the line, the service line for MNU. Big swing from Baker's outside, number 2, Taylor Kyle, but the ball lands out of bounds as the Pioneers remain with service possession. And a tip from the Wildcats. Pioneers not able to get control of it to get back over as number 23, Skylar Bruck, stepping back to the service line for the Wildcats. And the Wildcats will get that point with a double contact called by the officials here. So number 23, Skylar Bruck, will step back to the service line. Great effort by the Pioneers on that last play, though. The Pioneers will get a touch on that attack from Bruck, as Bonkova will step back to serve for MNU. Tight ball to the net, and the Pioneers will win that battle and send Bonkova back to the service line for set point. 24-26, or pardon, 24-16. Big swing on the outside for the Pioneers with a kill from Jennifer Roth. With that kill, the Pioneers take set one, 25-16. And we will take a break here as the teams regroup for set number 2. And we have stats from set number 1. The Wildcats coming out of that set with 9 kills, and the Pioneers coming out of that set with 13. The Pioneers are led by Teresa Saunders, number 4 in kills, and the Wildcats are led by Taylor Keel with 4 kills as well. Teresa Saunders has the highest hitting attack percentage with 80%, and your attack percentage is figured by your number of kills, errors, and total attempts. Saunders currently with no errors and 4 kills on 5 attempts, giving her such a high attack percentage. We'll see how she maintains that through this next set. Both teams tallying 12 digs in that set, and Skylar Bruck from the Wildcats leads all defenders with 4 total digs. There were 3 service aces by the Pioneers in that match. One of those service aces came from Jennifer Roth. That ace tied her for the MNU career aces record. So we'll be watching her throughout the rest of this match, and if she notches that one more ace, she will have surpassed the career service aces record for MNU. Roth currently is tied with total career aces by a MNU Hall of Famer, Megan Hayes. And here we go to get set number 2 underway with MNU with a serve and Hansen with a ball. And Baker will start things off with the first point as number 17, Claire Chapman, captures that kill out of the middle, and number 23 for the Wildcats, Skylar Bruck, will step back to the service line. And the Pioneers answer with a kill out of the middle of their own from number 12, Jacqueline Calvert. Bonkova will step back to the service line for MNU. Nice effort by number 7, Courtney Hansen, but can't quite get that ball back under control for the Pioneers, and the point goes to the Wildcats. The Wildcats currently lead with a score of 2-1. Number 2, Taylor Kyle, back to the service line for the Wildcats. And number 11, Jennifer Roth, with the kill on the outside for the Pioneers. Jacqueline Calvert will step back to the service line for the Pioneers. And another big swing for number 14, Kelsey Simmons, who captures that kill, keeping the Wildcats with a 1-point lead. Chapman back to serve for the Wildcats. And the Wildcats will send over a free ball. We'll see what the Pioneers will return with. Roth will get that kill with a touch off the block. And Gracie Myers will serve for the Pioneers. Nice back row attack from the Wildcats. Pioneers with an answer with an outside attack. And a nice block from Roth and Dossett to regain possession of that ball. Myers with the serve. The service error, returning the serve back to the Wildcats. We are tie score here, 4-all. Big kill, another big kill for Roth, this time on the right side. Roth back to the service line. And an attack here for Saunders. her first of the night, will return the ball to the Wildcats as Hildenbrand will serve for Wildcats. And Dawson swinging away out of the middle, able to use that block to get the kill. Matthews will step back to the service line to serve. And a double contact called by the officials will return the serve back to the Pioneers. Matthews back to the service line once again. And the attack will go long for the Wildcats as the Pioneers begin to gain some momentum here. And number 2, Taylor Kyle with a kill on the outside. Nice cross court attack that the Pioneers were unable to return. Number 18, Jordan Hasbrook with the serve. And a free ball sent over by the Wildcats. Bonkova with that kill, swinging right over the block to get that kill right in the corner of the court. Courtney Hansen back to serve for the Pioneers. And the Wildcats will return with a kill from the outside from Taylor Kyle. And Skylar Bruck back to serve for the Wildcats.
Go forward, go forward.
Baker with a scramble play, able to get that ball back over. And the Pioneers return with a quick middle attack that will get past their block and find the floor. Bonkova will step back to the service line for MNU. And MNU will hang on to that point as the ball landed out of bounds after going off the Wildcats block, giving the MNU a lead of 11-7. Baker calls a timeout to regroup. Today's match is a Dig Pink match, as October is noted as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As you'll notice, some of the Pioneers with pink ponytails and ribbons and some highlights to help note today's Dig Pink match. return to play with MNU with the serve and Tanya Bankova with the service line. MNU still leading 11-7. And the attack goes long for the Wildcats, and Bankova will return to the service line. Big swing out of the middle for the Wildcats, but just wide of the court, landing out of bounds, sending Bankova back to the service line for MNU. And as she attempts to get that, as number 2, Taylor Kyle attempts to get that ball over the net, it clips the antenna, and the up ref calls that ball out of bounds for the Pioneers' point. Baker will call another timeout as the Pioneers lead 14-7, and I'll take a quick break here as the teams meet. And we are back to action here on the campus of Mid-America Nazarene as Bankova takes the serve for the Pioneers.
Defend here.
And number 11, Jennifer Roth, with an attack error, will give the point to the Wildcats as number 2, Taylor Kyle, steps back to the service line for the Wildcats. And a smart play by Roth to find the hole in the court and get that ball down for a kill. Calvert will step back to the line for the Pioneers. And Baker will try to run a play out of the middle, but the block is there and solid for the Pioneers. Calvert back to the service line for MNU. Taylor Bell finds her way through that MNU block this time for the kill. And Claire Chapman will serve for Baker. And Roth finds that ball over, finds a way to get that ball over the net right here by the, as she stood right here by the booth. And Dossett able to grab that overpass kill to put an exclamation point on the end of that play as Gracie Myers will serve for the Pioneers. And Kelsey Simmons finds the floor for the Wildcats as she puts a smart play into motion to find the floor. Megan Milroy will step back to the service line for the Wildcats. And the Wildcats will find a way to get that ball back over and down for the point. Megan Milroy will serve once again. And number 3, Savannah Knott, will find that end line for the point as the line judge shows. And it looks like a little bit of miscommunication there for the Pioneers. They weren't real sure who was gonna take that second ball. Typically, that second ball is reserved for the setter, but. And the Pioneers will get things straightened out this round as Roth gets the kill. And Ross will serve. And a solid block by the Pioneers, but Baker able to get that ball back over. Another hustle play by the Pioneers to get that ball over. And Baker will come out with that point as the ball comes off the Pioneers and hit the antenna as the ball being called out of bounds. Baker will gain that point. And number 21, Sophie Heldenbrand, will step back to the service line.
Come on, be ready to hit. Defend!
And a solid block again by the Pioneers. And that ball will go long from the libero for the Wildcats. Matthews will step back to the service line for the Pioneers. And the Pioneers were called in the net, so Baker will take that point, closing their lead back to 4. Jordan Hashbrook with the serve for the Wildcats. And a big swing on the right side from number 4, Teresa Saunders, to extend that gap to 5 points. Kelsey Rankin in to serve for the Pioneers. And service error returns the serve to the Wildcats.
Point, Wildcats. Brock serving.
And another kill for the Pioneers. 4 points away from taking the set. Bonkova will step back to the line for the Pioneers serve.
Come on, defense!
And that ball landed out of bounds for the Pioneers point as Bonkova will return to the service line. Wildcats right side, sending Bonkova back to the service line once again.
Come on, defense. Go! Play! Push it! Good!
And Baker able to stop that ball. And it gained that block there on the Pioneers outside. Number 2, Taylor Kyle, will serve for the Wildcats.
Lead someone. Good.
And a light touch will do it for Jennifer Roth to get that kill and put the Pioneers at set point here in set number 2. Jacqueline Calvert will step back to the service line here at set point.
3! Come on, hitters!
And another big swing for Jennifer Roth to get that kill and seal set number 2 for the Pioneers. The Pioneers are up 2 sets to none over the Baker Wildcats, as we will take a short break here before set number 3. We're about to return back to action here for set number 3 as the Pioneers lead 2 sets to 0 against the Baker Wildcats. It's a Heart of America matchup here on the campus of Mid-American Nazarene. The Pioneers defeated the Wildcats 25-16 in set 1 and 25-17 in set 2. Jennifer Roth for the Pioneers currently leads all attackers in the match with 9 kills. Rachel Dossett for the Pioneers has the highest hitting percentage at 57%. Again, your attack percentage is based off of how many kills, errors, and total attempts you have. The Wildcats with the serve and number 23, Skylar Bruck. Once again, Dossett with the highest hitting percentage of the match so far at 57% on 4 kills, no errors, and 7 total attempts. And Bonkova will start us off here in set number 3 with the first point going to the Pioneers, and now she will step back to the service line. And service error for Bonkova, tying the match at 1 apiece, as Taylor Kyle will step back to the service line. Jennifer Roth puts some power on that outside attack and gets the kill. Jacqueline Calvert to serve for MNU. And the Pioneers will block that ball back to Baker as they keep it in play. That ball did not quite touch the blockers on the Pioneer side, therefore giving the Wildcats 4 touches, sending Jacqueline Calvert back to the service line for MNU. And another big block there on the outside for the Pioneers. Pioneers have been solid at the net with their blocking, as through the first 2 sets they tallied 7 total blocks, 6 of them block assists, and 1 of them solo block. MNU will gain that point for a 5-1 score as Jacqueline Calvert returns to the service line. And another block for the Pioneers. That will force the Wildcats into a timeout as the teams will return to their benches. Jennifer Roth leads the Pioneers with 10 kills currently. And Calvert remaining at the service line for the Pioneers will get us started after the timeout. And Nicoletta Candish will get that kill for the Pioneers. Pioneers with some momentum here, keeping Calvert back at the service line. And Roth with another strong kill going right through that Wildcat block. Calvert once again back to serve. Pioneers will get that ball back up after the block, and Roth unable to find a way past that block. Claire Chapman back to serve for the Wildcats. And a quick attack out of the middle from the Pioneers is denied by the Wildcats. Returning Claire Chapman back to the service line. And Nicoletta Candish will capture that line to get the kill for the Pioneers, sending Gracie Myers back to the service line. And the officials call one of the Pioneers in the net, giving the serve back to Baker.
Milroy serving.
Number 4, Megan Milroy will step back to the service line for the Wildcats. And Roth will find the open court for that right side kill, and she will step back to the service line.
Big swings, Tanya, big swings. Let's go.
Remember, Roth just one ace away from capturing the all-time career aces record.
Yes, here we go.
And the officials call 4 touches on the Wildcats. And they will talk to the captain for a moment. And Roth will step back to the service line again. And a service error.
Pioneer serve is in the net. Point, Baker. Heldenbrand serving.
Number 21, Sophie Heldenbrand will step back into the match and back to the service line. Nice serve right down the line. Returned by the Pioneers.
In front of you, Tanya, go. Yes.
And Tanya Bonkova will take a big swing on the right side to get that ball right through the block. That's a Wildcats head set up, sending Matthews back to the service line for the Pioneers. Oh, and a light touch there by Bonkova. The Wildcats scramble to try to keep that in play, but are unable to get it back over within the allotted 3 touches. Matthews will step back to the service line once again. And Baker will get that point after a touch off the block, and the ball goes long. Number 18, Jordan Hashbrook, will step back to the service line for the Wildcats.
Defend, hey.
And MNU unable to retrieve that ball.
Point, BU.
And Hashbrook will return to the service line.
Double contact by the Pioneers.
Double contact called by the officials, putting Baker within 5. Hashbrook with the serve. And Teresa Saunders with a kill. Pioneers will take the serve as number 6, Kelsey Rankin, will have the serve. And the attack goes long, just out of bounds for the Pioneers, so Baker will have the serve as number 23, Skylar Bruck, enters the game and steps back to the service line. And a light touch will do it for Roth out of the back row. She will find that hole right in the middle of the court. Bonkova will step back to the service line for the Pioneers. Pioneers lead 15-9 today. Pioneers with another block as the Wildcats keep the ball in play. And another light touch will do it for Roth, this time from the outside. Bonkova will serve once again. And the Pioneers will get the kill out of the middle from number 12, Jacqueline Calvert. Bonkova back to the service line. This time, Jennifer Roth swinging for the kill. Bonkova to serve again. And nice placement from the Wildcats to find that corner and evade the Pioneers defense. Taylor Kyle will step back to the service line for the Wildcats. And an ace for the Wildcats as they try to close that gap the Pioneers have created. Pioneers remain in the lead, 18-11. And Baker will gain that point after the ball just touches the antenna, going out of bounds off of the Pioneers block. Taylor Kyle with the serve again. And Baker was called in the net, giving the ball back to the Pioneers as Jacqueline Calvert will serve, and she will get the ace, putting the Pioneers at 20. And battle for that point with some great defense from both sides, ending up with a point for the Pioneers, sending Calvert back to the service line. And an attack error on from the Wildcats will send Calvert back to serve. And a light touch will give the point to Baker with a kill from Claire Chapman out of the middle. Chapman will also be back to serve. And a light touch from the Pioneers with that tip finding the floor. Pioneers just 2 points away from taking the match. Gracie Myers with the serve. And a tough ball to read there, as it looks like it kind of hit the attacker's hand a little bit funny. Finding it, but that ball still found its way to the floor. Megan Milroy back to serve for the Wildcats. And that ball goes long, giving the point to the Pioneers. We are at set and match point here with Roth back to serve. And Bonkova there to put that ball, make sure that ball gets put away to take the set and the match today. The Pioneers win 3-0. First set going 25-16, second set 25-17, and third set 25-14. Jennifer Roth with 16 total kills on the match, leading all scorers and notching that with a 30% hitting percentage with 16 kills, 4 errors, and 39 total attempts. Don't forget, Roth also tied the total career aces record for MNU, tying MNU Hall of Famer Megan Hayes with her sole ace of the day. The Pioneers in the match with 46 kills and a hitting percentage of 36%. The team also had a total of 13 blocks, 12 block assists, and 1 solo block. 5 of those assisted blocks Rachel Dossett got touches on. Again, the Pioneers finish with 3-0 against the Baker Wildcats here in today's Heart of America matchup, with the first set being 25-16, second set 25-17, and third set 25-14. Thank you for joining us today here on the campus of Mid-America Nazarene. I'm Katie Green, and we'll see you next time.